Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Heel Turn Podcast. That is correct. It is the Heel Turn Podcast. This is not April 2017. This is August 2017. And we are back. Now, I want to first off apologize for the long hiatus that we have taken. Weston and I both, we got lives. We got things to do. We have jobs and things like that. This is not our 9 to 5. We do this for fun because we love it. We love professional wrestling, and shit happened.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say that you will get a podcast each and every week, and we're planning to release them on Friday each and every week for you, and
Now,
we
if
will
that
never leave you
changes-
again.
If that changes as far as Fridays go, you'll get an update from us on Twitter, so not to worry. The podcast will be uploaded on YouTube, every week on Friday. Unfortunately, SoundCloud didn't work out. If you go to our SoundCloud now, you'll get a little warning message. Apparently, they wanted us to give them money for us to put our episodes, basically, long story short. So, we are here now. We are back. If you notice, when you listen to this podcast, you will notice it says episode 1. Yes, this is episode 1 of the brand new Heel Turn Podcast. We've decided to clean the slate and start over fresh. The few of you that have stuck with us from the beginning, this is a brand new start, and we appreciate you guys listening in the past, and we hope that you guys stick with us now.
Yeah.
And I guess it goes without saying, Nature Boy, we're pulling for you, man. Kick out.
Hell yeah.
Apparently, as far as everything that's been heard, he still has some issues, but he's doing better. So, I mean, any good news is good news. So,
Diamonds live forever, and so does Ric Flair. That ain't a catchphrase. That is life.
dude, I said something like the other day. I was like, if 2017 takes the Nature Boy, like I'm just done. Like I don't know, I can't handle that right now.
Ric Flair, he is not allowed to leave this earth. He's not allowed to go anywhere. We need people like Ric Flair.
Yep.
We need Uncle Rick. God damn it.
Yep.
He's that cool ass uncle that like you shoot whiskey with at the family reunion or at Thanksgiving. You go and you get drunk at Thanksgiving and you bullshit, and then when your cousin's all grown up and they got big boobies, he's like, "Ooh, look at that." Okay, maybe that's just my family.
Man, but a lot's happened, man. It's weird. It's weird segmenting into this. I definitely feel like just the rust of not doing this podcast in a while. But I mean, man. So, well, SummerSlam happened. I guess.
Yep.
That's we missed quite a few things. We missed End Zone Cast splitting up, which is something me and you were predicting from a mile away.
Yeah, we kind of saw that coming. We also did we get to cover Jinder Mahal being champion, or I know we missed most of his.
We covered the beginning of it, how we thought it was bullshit. And
I can't remember where we left off with that.
I'll leave it at this. I still my thoughts stay the same. I can't really take him that seriously. They've put him in the chair. They've put him in that high chair, and they've really pushed the living hell out of him as champion. And I get they have this image like this is championship material because of the whole deal in India and everything. And I understand that, but I just can't take him seriously. I really can't. His match with Nakamura during SummerSlam. I'm just gonna say it now, before we start talking about SummerSlam, it wasn't that good, man. He couldn't bring out the good in Nakamura in that match, and I don't know if it's something to do with I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Besides just a normal chemistry thing, they've never wrestled together before, it felt more than that. It just felt lackluster, man.
Well, he's kind of a cliche.
But that's my thing. He has the character. I will say that his mic skills are way more on point. He's a true heel in that regard. But I feel still in the ring, he doesn't have a lot to offer without just sounding flat out negative. And it still bothers me. It still bothers me seeing him with the championship. I feel if anything, they should take the championship away from him for a couple of months, let him build up a little bit more, then give it back to him. If anything, if they really want him to have it,
Well, with the one thing I like to think is if they ever had a championship versus champion match, I want okay, if we're at a time where Raw champion Brock Lesnar takes on the SmackDown champion, I want to be able to say, oh, that would be a great match. But, can you honestly say Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal would be a great match?
No.
I think it'd be a shit match. Because what you got is you got a guy whose whole gimmick is basically other people interfering in his match. You got the Singh brothers, who interfere in almost all of his matches. You've got the Great Khali, who showed up once and never came back.
Oh, look, I'm gonna be flat out honest here. I think the Singh brothers are just like J&J Security was for Seth Rollins. I'm gonna say this for Seth Rollins. As soon as they left and they turned, like, Seth Rollins pissed them off and they left him right towards like the later end of Seth's career as a heel. That was the best point for Seth when he was alone as a heel. I feel like they really need to do that with Jinder Mahal. They think it's funny to put like these two henchmen with all these heels. No, I think it hurts them. I think it takes away from their own skill, because you're basically saying at that point this guy can't get the job done without them. You know? And that bothers me as a whole. If you want this heel to be taken seriously, let him go in the ring and actually mess up people on his own. I feel like that's a huge step for Jinder Mahal being taken more seriously.
Well, I mean, I'm not against a heel having lackeys. I mean, CM Punk for a while had the Shield.
Yeah, but they didn't interfere in every single one of his matches.
No, but they interfered in a lot of them. But the thing I'm going to say is I agree with you. When that is all you're doing, when that is just your whole game, you can't have a whole reign where every single match is interfered with the other. Because sure, that may work when he's facing Randy Orton. You can do it once or twice, but eventually you got to be like, all right, it's time for you to win one on your own. Orton had to do that. When Orton was originally champion in 2007, he was getting disqualified to keep his title. But there was a situation where, if you get disqualified, you lose the WWE title. And Orton then had to win one on his own. And Mahal, they're not really doing much of that with Mahal.
But that's my deal. That's why I explain it like in a Rollins way, because I look at this the same exact way they did with Rollins and J&J Security. It's like every match it's interference, and it's like it's getting really ridiculous to this point. It's like, okay, if you want to do like you said, maybe like Shield and CM Punk, like where they interfere a lot but not every single one. I feel like it's a problem when they're interfering every single championship defense, because immediately from the start of the match, it's going to be a shit show if those two guys are with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
You immediately know, like, you could just call it out. It's clear, and I think that's the biggest problem of it all. Like, they need to make it less predictable. If you want to keep them with Mahal, fine, but don't have them come out with every single match he's in.
Right.
Because that's just bullshit.
Right. Well, you know what, man? Let's go into SummerSlam, and I mean, we pretty much are covering the WWE champion and his opponent. So let's and that was actually where I think we should start. I was thinking we should start with this on SummerSlam. Start off big with the WWE title. Rate the match, like if you were to 5-star, 1-star, no star. What would you say?
Well, Mahal and Nakamura?
Yeah.
3 stars.
3 stars?
Average at best.
I mean, because
only 3 stars because it was Nakamura. If it was Mahal and anyone else, it'd be like 2 stars in my opinion.
Right. I mean, Mahal, I'm sorry. Yeah, the match, it wasn't bad. I think Mahal. See, I'm not gonna say it was like horrible. Mahal ruined the match. I think he did his best. I think he did all right, but I wasn't interested in it. It was hard for me to get into it, and I'm kind of bummed out that they even let him keep the title. I was hoping they were going to give it to Nakamura and move forward with Nakamura as the face of SmackDown, because then he could face guys like Kevin Owens, and guys like that, Baron Corbin, etc.
Well,
so
by the looks of it on SmackDown, Nakamura like squished the shit out of the Singh brothers, and then I don't know if you saw that, but like he tried and then Mahal tried to attack Nakamura, and failed at it, obviously. It's looking like they're giving Nakamura a huge like home field advantage with this. Like it looks like they're really pushing him hard for next SmackDown pay-per-view to win the title. If they do that, really smart. And if they do that, I'm treading off here, but I really just want to throw this idea out here because I really feel like this might be a long-term game plan with them.
Right.
Have Nakamura win the title at the next. Okay, so you have the next SmackDown pay-per-view. It opens up. You got AJ Styles and Kevin Owens, the third match, the third real match for the title. Kevin Owens finally wins it because AJ already won twice within like 1 week. So here's the deal: you have Kevin Owens win. Fast forward to Nakamura and Mahal.
Okay.
Nakamura basically just kicks the crap out of Mahal.
Right.
And Mahal's pissed off. He walks out, and Nakamura is still celebrating. All of a sudden, AJ Styles' music hits. Is at the ramp. I want to challenge you to that belt. That's the next feud. Nakamura and Styles. They have to capitalize over that sooner or later.
Well, I think they're gonna hold that off till Mania most likely, but
you might be right, but I'm really feeling like they're carrying both these feuds on a little kind of long right now. Not long, but I feel like there's some kind of end game here that we're not seeing. I could be wrong, but
well, I think honestly, from a WWE's perspective, like their place, I would hope that they're smart enough to realize that Nakamura and AJ Styles, when they were in Japan, was considered one of the best matches of that time. It was an amazing match. And so, like, I mean, I still haven't actually gotten a chance to watch it, but I know you have. And I'm mad. I'm going to go watch it soon. Don't worry.
You really have to. And, like, anyone that hasn't watched that match, it's okay, like, that you haven't. Because, I mean, then again, we are a WWE podcast. So, like, nothing against you there.
So shame on me. Shame.
No. It's a WWE podcast, and that wasn't a WWE match.
You're right.
But I'm being dead honest. Any of the listeners that haven't seen that match either, it was at Wrestle Kingdom. Dude. The spots that them two had, the chemistry that they had, if WWE does not capitalize off of them two in a match together, they're complete idiots. Like,
but I think Mania would be the best place to put it because they did a great match in Japan. WrestleMania is where you're gonna want to see those two collide. I mean, let's do it at the biggest WWE show of the year.
You could be right. Yeah, I didn't think.
And for the WWE title, I mean that would. So that's what I think. I think they're holding it off. They're gonna try. Probably they're going to give the title to Nakamura or AJ Styles. Actually, it'd be better, I think, to give it to AJ Styles going into Mania. And like, if Nakamura loses, like, have him keep losing, and then have him win the Rumble, and then have him face AJ Styles. That way, it could kind of be I don't want to say redemption story, but kind of like give the fans something cool to see. First time ever Nakamura wins the title at WrestleMania.
No, absolutely. I think that's smart. It's something that they could capitalize off of. You make a good point there, and I don't know. I just feel like there has to be some kind of in-game plan here. I don't see the point. Like I said, I just don't see the point of Mahal still having the championship, and then Nakamura like being this feud. Like, I don't know. Nakamura better win the title soon. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. All right. Well, let's move on. Okay, so this one, Weston, this was your favorite match of the night. I mean, dude, you could not stop talking about how much you love this match. What? Orton versus Rusev.
Oh, good lord. Yeah. Dude, that was so stupid, man. That was so dumb. I get it. They're trying to write it in. Probably like Rusev's like super pissed now, whatever. But
yeah, it's so mad that. Yeah,
that was so dumb. Like, Rusev better get a huge one-up on Orton after that. Like that was so stupid.
I was laughing my ass off. I was like, what the fuck? Dude, that was, like, that made no sense. You basically fed, you buried Rusev like that. That was so stupid.
What if it was like a contract obligation? It's like, Orton, since you got buried by Lesnar last SummerSlam, we're gonna let you bury someone at this SummerSlam.
Yeah, no shit. But it was so dumb. But I will say this: Rusev took one of the most badass RKO's ever, like head first into the fucking mat.
Rusev can sell, man. He can sell.
Dude,
really
that
well.
fucking amazing.
But it's just like that was so stupid. Obviously, that's gonna be part of like some kind of storyline. You know, that's gonna spark a huge rivalry. But I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Not much to say on that, but we wanted to talk about it. So okay, so let's go to the little stripper tease they had on SummerSlam, and that was Big Show versus Cass with Enzo in a shark tank.
Oh yeah, man. Hey. That was
shark cage, whatever you call it.
That was hilarious.
Dude, what the fuck? I'm thinking you got like I remember watching it and I'm like, all right, this match is kind of boring because you got fucking Big Show and Cass and they weren't doing a lot of big spots. They were going back and forth. They were doing it giant versus giant style, which was all right, but it kind of got boring. And then all of a sudden, you see Enzo up there starting to strip naked. And I'm like, what the fuck? Motherfucker's stripping down to his fucking tighty whities. He's got freaking like Vaseline or whatever in his freaking bag. He rubs it all over himself and squeezes through the bars, which I thought was going to be a rib on like Enzo, because I know Enzo is getting a lot of backstage heat. Apparently, from what I had read recently, a couple while back, he got kicked off of a WWE bus by Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns for some reason runs the fucking locker room. I guess you beat Taker and you get to run the locker room. I guess, I don't know. But anyway, so he got kicked off a bus because people were getting annoyed by him. I know he's not super loved, but anyway, so what I thought was going to happen was they were like, oh yeah, we're putting you up in a little shark cage. Okay, cool. Then you're going to jump out. And I'm like, oh, okay, so they must have rehearsed him doing that. And what I thought they were going to do is that they were going to just they rehearsed before the show with him coming out of the tank, but the backstage crew rigged it up to where he can't get out. So it was like a rib on him trying to get out and thinking he's fucking up.
That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, he gets out, he jumps, Enzo kicks him, and then Cass kicks him, and then I think Cass won the match, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the ending was forgettable. I only remember the shark cage because that was fucking hysterical.
I don't know, like I just feel like that whole thing's been kind of funny. I'll say this, I hold WWE to it. You know, they did well, like not ever letting Enzo pretty much get the one up on Cass. You know, they're really pushing Cass hard. And I guess it goes without saying, just because we're talking about them, you know, I want to put this out there and just leave it here. Look, I'm a fan of Cass and all.
Yeah.
But I actually think this was the best time for him to get injured. Really crazy thing for me to say, but I feel like his momentum was starting to get a little stale. They were kind of repeating a lot, and I feel like when he comes back, it's gonna make a bigger impact now.
Well, I'll talk to. Well, we'll when we get into Raw, I'll go a little more into my opinion on that. But I'm gonna just say right there, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think this probably is bad for him, and the reason is because I think that he was supposed to end his rivalry with Enzo Monday, and now he was going to go on to bigger and better things, hopefully probably getting shots at Intercontinental title, and at some point within the next year probably a match for the WWE title. Probably wouldn't win, but he'd still be accepted into the main event picture. But but now, however long he's out, when he comes back, he has to go back and fight Enzo. Okay. So he's kind of, so to me, just from my perspective, it kind of looks more like he's kind of now having to stay with his little rivalry with Enzo than, being able to walk away from it.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later in the podcast when we get to Raw. All right, so let's move forward and let's talk about the Raw tag titles. But before we talk about the Raw tag title match, there's one quick thing I want to go over that happened during the match, and that is the beach balls that were going around the audience. I feel like we should quickly talk about that because, you and me, before on the first original Heel Turn podcast before our new and enhanced 2.0 version that you're listening to now. We talked about there really is no right answer, wrong answer for a fan to react. If they want to boo a certain wrestler that's supposed to be a face, that's their choice. They can. You're not obligated to do anything. But
No, I thought that was funny as hell.
I thought it was funny, but I think that is a tad disrespectful and going too far. If you want to chant while the wrestlers are wrestling, if you think it's a really boring match, you're like, man, this sucks, and you decide I'm going to start chanting Goldberg, that's fine. It's your right to do that. But I think when you are doing throwing beach balls around the crowd, which they did all night, when you're throwing beach balls around the crowd, and you're pretty much now taking all the attention away from the wrestlers and putting it into the audience, you're hijacking the show, and I just thought that was really disrespectful.
Oh no, of course it was. Like I'm not disagreeing with you there. I think it was definitely disrespectful for them to do.
And I mean. Yeah,
I get it. It's SummerSlam. It's like, oh, it's a big party because it's SummerSlam.
Except
I took
really,
it with a grain of salt. Like if it was any other show, I'd be like really like, okay, that's uncool for the crowd to do. But it was like, I can understand it, and I can also understand where Cesaro's coming from. I'm dead in between.
No, Cesaro, I thought reacted the 100% perfect way
because and as a heel, like it was just perfect. It was like this needs to get done. I'm the bad guy here. Let me go just grab this beach ball and rip it up. Okay, let me get back to the match.
Well, because you did two things there. One, you're a heel. You're supposed to have the crowd boo you. So basically, he's going out there and saying, I'm taking away your fun and I'm going to rip it up. So now you don't get to play with the beach ball anymore. So now you have to watch my match. And you're all mad now, so start booing me. That is where it's coming from a character perspective. Now, what it also is saying is Cesaro is not short of confidence in who he is. He knows he's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
So Cesaro's basically saying, no, motherfucker, you're not gonna interrupt this like I'm some fucking rookie. You're not gonna disrespect me like that. Fuck you. So he reacted perfectly. But WWE, they kind of, I think they should have been a lot more on point at getting those beach balls and getting the people that are throwing the beach balls out of there, because you're pretty much now sending a message that it's okay.
Yeah.
You're so. I just wanted to talk on that real quick because it's...
No, I totally understand where you're coming from. All right, for the listeners, this will go by really quick, but we're just going to take a very, very quick break, and it'll be edited right in. So, yeah. Pow. And we are back. I have a bowl of Fruity Pebbles near me, so I apologize for the smacking. I'm just starving, so. In our usual unprofessional ass way, I will be eating for the next 5 minutes. So.
Yeah. Yep. Because heel turn. So. So okay, just I know that it's edited through, so it feels like no time passed. But just for the people that were wondering what we were talking about 2.3 milliseconds ago, we were talking about how the WWE universe should not take out their big balls and play with them during a WWE show.
Mm-hmm.
Shame. Don't do it. It's not cool. So. Okay, so let's actually talk about the Raw tag match. I thought it was actually really good.
One of the best matches of the night, if not the best match of the night, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Well, see, and I'm glad that they awarded the titles to Ambrose and Rollins. And really, I think what this is going to be is I think this is WWE trying to have them have a match at Mania. I think that they're uniting them as friends. Again, they're going to defend the tag titles for a while, probably up until around Royal Rumble, which I don't know for sure. I'd have to fact check. So, anyone listening, feel free to fact check and comment if I'm wrong, but I think Raw has the TLC pay-per-view, and or at least they'll be presented on it. And I think what they're planning on doing is having Hardys versus Sheamus and Cesaro versus Ambrose and Rollins in a TLC triple threat ladder match.
That would be really cool.
I think it would, yeah. And basically, with that, they'll probably hold the titles for a while. Right around Rumble, they'll lose them, and oh shit. Hey, hold up, I gotta go let my dogs in. It's raining.
Okay.
Sorry about that. So yeah, I think they'll probably lose it around Rumble, and then they will most likely one of them will turn on the other because they feel like the other screwed them out, and they'll have a match at Mania, and it'll be a big badass match.
If they were smart, I don't want to brainstorm too much like I usually do.
Yeah, but we will.
But yeah, probably, yep. I really think it's cool pairing them two together. Like, just started this off. I was a little iffy about it just because it's like, okay, WWE really just doesn't have anything else to do with them but put them in a tag team, and I wasn't crazy about it. But they knocked it out of the ballpark during SummerSlam, you know, like, and the promos they were doing on Raw beforehand were just really building it up. So I'm happy with it. But what I really think would be cool, well, pretty much what you said, yeah, like they would turn on each other around Royal Rumble and like have a big WrestleMania match. I think it'd be really smart.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like, you know, they're gonna hold the titles for a little while because you know, the Shield, like two members of the Shield reuniting is never a bad thing. So yeah, I think it'll go good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, and I mean, the match itself was really good, and I know that Cesaro and Sheamus are going to get a rematch soon, and it looks like they might be hinting at the Hardys again, so that'll definitely be pretty cool.
Please do. I really don't want the Hardys to become like the Dudley Boys were like last year, man. Like I don't want them to put over so much new talent that it just becomes like sad. Like I enjoyed like Raw because you guys saw that with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose against the Hardy Boys at Raw, and I like the fact that the Hardy Boys actually put them over. Still a great match. I like things like that, but I really don't want them to become that kind of thing. Like, oh, these guys were legends at one point. Oh my God, but now they're losing to everyone. Like,
right.
That was just kind of. I don't want it to become like that. I'd be really, really upset if it happens like that.
Right.
But,
yeah. But anyway, all right. So let's move on, and we are going to now talk about real quickly. Let's go over John Cena versus Baron Corbin. Because that was another match you loved, Weston.
Just, I really, 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 really don't want to say this, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. No, fuck it. No. Baron Corbin's boring. Everything about him. I've really tried. I care nothing about him. He has no mic skills. He's bland in the ring. But for some reason, he keeps gracing my television screen constantly.
Not really gracing it, but, you know.
Yeah, you know, whatever. You know what I mean. I don't like him. I don't like.
Go away.
He's so boring, and like, and then he talks like his shit doesn't stink on Twitter, which makes me even hate him more. Cause it's like.
Well, you gotta have that confidence.
But that means he's even a shitty person in real life. I care nothing about him, and I really wish he would get pissed off and go to TNA or something. Like I don't care. Like I don't care at all about anything to do with him. I think WWE sees like some sort of potential in him, like, oh, he could be something. The problem is he's never gonna be something because he just I think he lacks. I think he just lacks like all around. I hate to say that. I hate to be so blunt and like just cut through like that, but I just there's nothing. I don't think there's any room for improvement. I think what we have is what we have of him.
Yeah. Well, I thought the match was okay. Okay, moving on. No.
No, I mean, I give it to Cena for trying, to not necessarily put him over in the match, but put him over, in just, facing him. That's quite about a bit of star power you have in a match wrestling Cena. But no, I don't care. I just don't care at all about him. I'm just gonna be really that blunt. I came into this too, like once we took this break on this podcast, I didn't want to be blunt when we came back. I wanted to give everything an open shot. Really try to,
look at the positive.
My thought, more output.
Because, I mean, we don't want to sit and bitch all day. I mean, we're going to bitch, but we don't want to just be known as the people that bitch about WWE like we don't like anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I was like that a lot in the past. And I'm working on it. I'm really trying to work on it. But Corbin, I really just don't. No, I don't care.
Well, some people, no matter what, they can't win. They can't win you over, kind of.
Yeah, you just can't, man. I hate to say that. I mean, I think his character sucks.
Yeah.
And he's not good in the ring, so he doesn't have anything rewarding about him to me at all. Like anything I could even say positive.
Right. All right, well, let's move forward and let's talk about Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt.
Great match.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a lot of opinions on it. I mean, it was good. It's just it's like I really like. I mean, his intro was like fucking sick. Like the
triumphant return of the Demon King.
Yeah.
It was cool to see him come out like that, and the match itself was great. I hope they wrestle again.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah,
I mean, it was pretty good. He definitely.
It would even be so cool to hold it off until WrestleMania and have them face it again at WrestleMania if they don't have anything planned in the cards for Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything planned for Bray Wyatt. He's gonna have some token match at WrestleMania again, like he always does.
They'll probably throw him in the Andre Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Because that's where you go when you're not good enough to make the main card. Even if you have a match on the pre-show, you still go there.
Saying this though, like as a Bray Wyatt fan, and just being honest, I don't think WWE doesn't have a long-term goal with him. They're just kind of winging it, and you can see that.
Yeah.
They nailed it really well with Balor and Bray, though. I would definitely love to see that match again.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, it was good. I apologize to the people. SummerSlam, it kind of just, for that match and everything that happened, I don't have a super lot of opinions on it. That's why I can't really say much on it. I liked it. It was a good match. It was, let's move forward to Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks.
Good match.
I thought it was good. Alexa Bliss,
she's improved so much.
She is. She's such an amazing heel, and she's such a good worker. I like her a lot. I really do. She's one of my favorite divas, and Sasha Banks is as well. They're both of them, both my favorite. And I thought we were gonna see Bayley either screw Sasha out of the match, like accidentally screwing her, causing them to have heat, or Bayley was gonna turn heel, which I kind of wasn't fully buying into that idea. But it's like
I still think Sasha's going to turn heel at one point, and when Bayley gets back from an injury, it's going to be them too. I don't know when they're going to pull that plug, but I mean, it's obvious. It's so obvious.
Right.
They've been teasing it forever. I mean, it's just a matter of when.
Right.
I think the match was great. Alexa Bliss, like you said, was always a great heel, but she needed a lot of room to improve in the ring. And I feel like finally she's really like at a good caliber in the ring now too. So like I'm really proud of her, like what she's done in the last coming months.
And I thought it was awesome to see like Sasha Banks like make her tap. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was a cool
it,
like. You don't see it too often. Like people
No,
tapping on WWE programming a lot, especially in pay-per-views. A lot of the time they want to steer away from it.
Yeah, tap. Well, I think they want to make it special. I think they want, because when you tap out, it means you give up, you quit, you're weak. So they want to build on that. Especially when it's a heel. It looks good on a heel to tap out. WWE a couple years ago burned the death because they didn't want anybody tapping to Rusev, so he just had Rusev knock him out cold. Kind of like Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. They fucking beat that shit to death. But what did I say? Did I say Stone Cold versus Bret Hart just now?
I think you said Owen Hart.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah. So what did you think of that match though? Good match?
Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks? Yeah, it was a good match. I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'd do about the same. While we're on the subject, let's talk about real quick Natalya, her match. It was Natalya and wow, I just had a brain fart.
Sorry. It was all right. I at that point I kind of was drifting in and out of it. It wasn't because we went over to a friend's house and we were talking with
Naomi. Natalya.
Yeah, I was drifting in and out of it because I was
really interesting though is the fact that they pulled 2 tap outs in both the women's championship matches at the night.
Right. For a title change.
No one mentioned this. Like I know some I had to think of it, but I didn't see anything online about it. And I was like, man, that's a statement. Like,
yep.
I don't know what exactly.
And
that
one's a
statement
face
would mean, but like, damn, like.
That'd be kind of cool if they like had a female submission match.
Right? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought that was really interesting though. I saw that and I was like, man, like, whoa, like.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool though, man. It was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty legit. I mean, it was all right. I wasn't, like I said, I was drifting in and out because I don't know, whatever conversation I was in was more interesting than that match. So I don't fully remember. That's why I kind of was like, it was all right.
Yeah. No, I hear where you're coming from, man. Like I don't know.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. The tap out, I thought it was cool she tapped out, but
yeah.
But yeah.
So we also have I forgot about the cruiserweight match.
Well, that was on the kickoff. We kind of said we weren't going to cover that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I was about to say because I was about to say I have no memory of that.
Yeah, it was on the kickoff. We honestly we didn't watch the kickoff. There was because at that time I was just quickly give you an interest like a peek into our day when we watch pay-per-views together is usually depending on where it's at. I'll usually go pick up Weston when I get off work and we'll go wherever. And I was getting off work around the time of the kickoff show, so we didn't actually get to watch it. But we did. I mean, I went back and looked at some of the stuff, and kind of with all the content we got to cover, we're just not going to talk about it.
Did Neville win though? I'm just curious. Like, I'm actually looking at this right now.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. I don't know.
I'm not even gonna shy away from the fact that I don't know what happened here because I think I've said it enough. But the cruiserweight division, it's never been something I really pay attention a lot to. But like I said, I'm trying to make an effort to pay attention to it. Okay.
We're shitty wrestling fans.
No, man. Yeah. Hey.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, so Neville defeated him. Okay.
Excuse
so
me. Yeah.
he got the championship back.
Yeah, he won it. Yeah, he won it back. Okay. So let's move forward to AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens.
Yep.
That match.
That was so like. It was good, but it was
so
stupid.
Funny.
It was so stupid.
Can I just say this? Like, Kevin Owens nailed it on the head. You fall off buildings, but you can't make a 3 count when a dude jumps on you. Like, are you serious? Dude, like, I swear to God.
Shane at the very beginning, like, when this match was announced, he's like, I'm going to call it right down the middle.
I'm going to call it down the middle. You got your ass whipped right down the middle, dude. Like, shit.
Like, every single time he had to be there, like, nope. wasn't there.
He got his ass whipped that whole match. He got beat up more than the other two did. Dude, every 5 seconds he was on the ground. Cause someone bumped into him. He got he was getting beat up like shit. I was like, oh man, that was
it was dumb. That was like.
It's like the match was good, but just that I don't know. Watching Shane get beat up that much was just kind of like, really?
It was very.
And that's when Owens finally said it. You jump off buildings, but you can't. You jump off buildings, but you can't take that. Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but the match was still good. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a really good match, and
it was your gimmicky special guest referee type match, and I take it for what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it was good for AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens.
It served its purpose. It's gonna just carry on the feud a little bit longer, so I understand.
Because I mean, they brought it up at SmackDown, so
okay,
that's all. And now we're down to the main event.
The Fatal 4-Way.
All right. Yes.
Lesnar.
It was
Reigns,
Braun Strowman, Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe should have won that. I'm still say it. Samoa Joe champion.
You mean Braun?
Hashtag Samoa Joe champion 2017. That's
Samoa Joe?
Hashtag. Yes. Samoa Joe's my boy. He needs to win that championship.
Fuck that Rikishi wannabe motherfucker. Man, give it to fucking Braun Strowman, dude. Who the fuck put Lesnar through 2 tables?
I know. I personally feel like Samoa Joe should have had bigger spots in that match. I was kind of disappointed about that, but no, of course, Braun, dude, he did not win that match, but he won that fight. Dude,
oh my God,
that dude was
amazing.
throwing Lesnar around like a freaking rag doll, dude.
Dude, that was fucking amazing. I was so just into that because I thought Braun was gonna win. I mean, I knew Lesnar was gonna come back, but by the end of it, I didn't know who was gonna win. They really made you feel like it was gonna be either Braun or Lesnar.
I'll say that. I don't think for that the match was great. I think the finish wasn't the best. I think they should have just pulled the plug and let Lesnar lose. It was SummerSlam. It's the biggest pay-per-view other than WrestleMania. So you're basically telling me Lesnar's either going to keep this championship until Mania or he's going to lose it before Mania, which I think is stupid. If you have that high caliber of a champion, he should either be losing at SummerSlam or WrestleMania. No ifs, ands, or buts. He should only lose at WrestleMania or SummerSlam. So the fact that Lesnar didn't and he retained really makes me wonder what's in the future and what's in store for that. And I feel like they should have just capitalized off of it and they should have just let Braun win.
Well, to see the thing going forward with Braun, I mean, he gave a showing. I mean, dude, we were making jokes about how Jason Jordan is Kurt Angle's son. I think Braun Strowman's Goldberg's son. The way that he was whipping Lesnar's ass, it was fucking crazy. Why
are you gonna do that? You know for a fact that Ryback is Goldberg's son.
Man, don't get me started on Ryback. Man, you know what? Fuck Ryback's podcast. That fucking whiny little bitch. I listen to that shit. That dude's a fucking whiny bitch.
He's
but anyway,
talking like that. He's gonna send you a little message.
Oh yeah, he's gonna talk about how I should get paid as much as John Cena, even though I don't draw shit, but I think I draw shit. Whatever. I'm not getting into it. No, but anyway, Braun beat the shit out of Lesnar in a way that John Cena couldn't. In a way that only Goldberg could. Triple H couldn't do it. No one else could beat Brock Lesnar the way Braun Strowman did. It was fucking insane. So, I mean, you built him up that high. I'm scared going forward. Because how do you end that? How do you, Lesnar, obviously can't lose.
That is a worry, that, what's the end game here? I know I've been using that term a lot, the end game, but, what's the plan for that? Because, man, that's going to be, they really need to pull this off right and not be sketchy about it, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think the thing is, see, if they have a like Braun kind of gets screwed by Lesnar, like Braun gets distracted or something happens to where Lesnar can catch him by surprise, that necessarily won't be the biggest deal, and it sure as hell won't be the end of the world. But if we see Braun lose to Brock clean, then to me, I think it kills the monster gimmick that WWE wants to keep going forward.
And that's what I mean. They need to be very careful about it because, man, I don't know. Like, that's just, it's rough.
Now what I could see, and I would definitely pay for this, is going forward, let Braun beat Brock Lesnar to the point where Brock cannot stand, Brock cannot get up, Brock is done, and then he wins the WWE title.
And then they have a rematch?
Well, they have a rematch at WrestleMania because Brock is out, and that gives Brock his go-away time to leave, and he'll come back healed, quote-unquote, in time for Mania.
Dude, I could see that, and he does a couple promos on Raw about the rematch, and he just basically throws Braun around like a rag doll. So it's like, holy crap, Brock's back and better than ever. How's this WrestleMania match gonna go? And it'd be unpredictable as fuck. I can understand that. I could definitely see that.
Right. And see, I would definitely fucking I would definitely love to see that at Mania, man. That would just be sick. And I mean, like we said a million times, we're going to Mania next year, so we'll be there to watch those matches live.
Man.
Now, do you got anything else going on this?
Man, I really don't.
Sir,
I'm interested to see how it's gonna go. I mean,
yeah.
But we'll find out.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, let's move out of SummerSlam. Bye, done. Bring up the little WWE logo for SummerSlam. It's over. We're done. We're talking about Monday Night Raw. All right. So, I have right here on my list, because I have a little list to keep track of all the shit we got to talk about. Lesnar versus Braun, but we pretty much just did that, so I'm going to scratch that out. We said enough on that. And let's go and talk about Enzo and Cass. We talked a little bit about them earlier in the podcast, so let's cover them right here, because Enzo and Cass had a street fight. And the street fight began with Enzo basically getting a shopping cart full of shit, and he starts throwing shit to try and hit Cass, but it's pretty much like he's Colin Kaepernick or something, or
yeah.
Actually, bad word, sorry. A shitty quarterback that's not Colin Kaepernick. Basically can't throw or shit, and he's missing him completely, which I thought that was so fucking funny. Like, you just see Enzo reaching into the fucking shopping cart, and he's throwing shit at Colin, Big Cass, and
You're about to say Colin Kaepernick again?
Well, I was about to say Colin Cassidy. I mean, that's his.
Yeah,
that was
nice cover. Nice cover. Yeah, sure you were.
Shut up, you bigot. No, I'm joking. You know what? I like Colin Kaepernick. He was pretty cool. Don't be mad. Anyway, so he's throwing shit at Big Cass, and he's completely missing. He's like completely just missing. So he looked fucking stupid because he throws like a lid, and the lid freaking flies into the crowd. He throws like, I don't know, like a shoe or something. It goes the complete other direction, and Cass is just walking, not giving a shit. Nothing's hitting him, and he just beats the shit out of Enzo. I'm like that first off looks stupid, and then he throws him down, throws him in the ring. They're doing mini fights back and forth. Big Cass goes for a boot and misses and ends up going over the top rope, falling. And when he gets back in the ring, he apparently fucks up his knee, falls, and he can't continue the match. He's pissed as fuck. And at first I thought it was a work. I thought that was just terrible WWE booking, because that looks like something WWE would book, because let's face it, they're not you know, they don't bat 1,000 when it comes to booking.
No, as
ever.
soon as it happened, I thought it was legitimate. I hate to like disagree with you or say anything like negative against you. Just as soon as he like fell, like I immediately got that vibe. Like, okay, he's really hurt right now. I could tell, like,
Right.
because you could tell he was like straining to keep the match going. Like he tried to stop like Enzo from grabbing the chair, and like he did like one. I don't even know what move it was.
Yeah.
He did like one move to him, and then his knee just caved in.
Right. Yeah, well, and see, I didn't. Well, I just didn't notice. I thought it was a work, but it wasn't. Obviously, knowing now, it is a legit injury. He tore. From what I read, I think it was his ACL. And I think the prediction they said was about 9 months he's going to be out.
Yeah.
And then the very next night on 205 Live, Enzo Amore shows up on 205 Live, which going forward, we were kind of saying, you said this was the best for Big Cass's career. The reason I disagreed with that was because Big Cass was going forward. They were going to end it. I'm sure they were going to send Enzo to 205 Live or drop him. I don't know. I honestly was hoping that he would go to 205 Live because Enzo has proven he can't beat anybody bigger than him. He can't do it. So without help from someone bigger. So the only place for him to go is 205 Live, which I don't think he'll be much success there other than the fact he's a big character, which there it's more about athletic ability, and Enzo's not a very good wrestler. I'm sorry, he's not. He's a good
It's really messed up for him. I thought it's really screwed up for him because he has nothing but character. He doesn't have a lot of in-ring ability, and it sucks because it's like, okay, you would think the right place to put him is 205 Live, yeah, because he'd be in that area. But now you're looking at guys that are his size who are 10 times the competitor in a ring than he is. So it's a matter of like, this might sound wrong, and maybe this wouldn't be the solution, but this is just kind of along the lines of what I was thinking. Even so much bringing him back to NXT, man. I hate saying that, but like the dude can't wrestle in a ring that well. Like, and he could fight a little bit, but I'm worried. I want to see him strive in 205 Live, don't get me wrong, but I'm worried it's going to look worse on him when he's fighting against these guys who are amazing in a ring and he's doing barely any real, spots.
He can sell good. Like, he can, he could take bumps really well.
Yeah, he can get his ass kicked and he could take bumps, but when is he going to win? When is he going to actually make any sort of name for himself? Is he just going to stay this guy who runs his mouth and gets hurt every single match? Because if that's the case, he's going to be a joke if he isn't already.
He already
is
a joke.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's getting really bad, and like it's going to get to the point. I'm really worried about him. I'm worried he's just going to keep getting his ass kicked, and you're going to see it like next year released.
Right.
I'm really worried about it.
Here's going forward what WWE wants to do. WWE, this is what I think, because I'm looking, and this is what, when I heard them get that Cass was out for a while, and he wasn't just going to be on TV, as himself, I realized what WWE needs to do. And my first thing I thought of was send Enzo to 205 Live. Before we could even record this podcast, it already happened.
Mm-hmm.
So what needs to they're going to send him to 205 Live. The thing about 205 Live is they can keep him relevant. They can still keep him in the eyes of the casual viewer. They can have him wrestle matches on Raw, even if they're pointless tag matches or whatever, they can keep him wrestling on Raw. Have him wrestle, which he's already wrestling Neville for the Cruiserweight. He already called out Neville for the Cruiserweight. Have him just wrestle on that show for the next 9 months, what's 9 months from now? That's, I think, March, April, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So until then, just have him wrestle till then. Then once Cass is near ready to return, have him in his little Cruiserweight match. Cass comes out, attacks Enzo, beats the shit out of him, costs him whatever match he's in, and basically Cass is now going to say, you fucked me out of months with WWE. You almost cost me my career. I'm gonna fucking end yours, and they're gonna have a rivalry. Now, the reason I said I think this hurts Cass is he can't go forward right now. He's got to wait even longer to go forward because when he comes back, he has to take on Enzo. You know, he has to redeem himself.
I don't know. A lot can be done in 9 months, man. And if he even like say has a chance of winning a championship, it won't be a long reign.
Well, you don't. Well, we don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. He originally could have gone on to face the Intercontinental Champion, win, and then eventually, I don't think anytime soon, maybe within the next year, but not, nothing within the coming months, he could have gone on to fight for the WWE title. And Cass has a bright future ahead of him with both his size, his athletic ability, and just his promo skills. He has a good chance of being a success in the WWE.
You could be right, man. You definitely could be right. Well, I don't know, man. It's just, it looks weird to me. Like, I'm going to have to see how they play it off.
Yeah.
There's so much unknown going on, I think, with this.
Yeah.
I
don't know. We'll have to see going forward, but I think this helped Enzo too, because now Enzo gets a second chance at trying to not piss people off like he's been doing. And he actually, hopefully, the cruiserweights can help him, be good.
Yeah.
But all right, let's move forward to let's real briefly talk about the Hardys. Let's talk about Matt and Jeff Hardy pretty much congratulating Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and then they had a tag match.
Like I said,
which
I
thought it was fucking amazing.
I thought it was a good match, and it was cool of them to put them over.
Well, I think, and the thing is, I'm excited about that is they're opening up the idea for them, the Hardys, to not only have a match with Seth Rollins and Ambrose, but also hinting, hopefully, at that triple threat TLC match.
That'd be really cool.
Dude, I mean, bring it back with, you got Cesaro, who can do everything under the sun. You got Sheamus, who's pretty much a big dude like the Dudleys. You got Dean Ambrose, who's a champ at hardcore matches. You got Seth Rollins that can pretty much match Jeff Hardy in high-flying abilities. And you got Matt and Jeff, who pretty much created the match. So, I mean, that would just be main event caliber. And they'd have to put that as the main event.
Yeah.
Because that would just be an amazing match. But yeah. Glorious! I will defend until we're victorious. Bobby Roode, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. That's actually pretty cool.
I am pumped to see Bobby Roode on SmackDown. I think, he definitely is not going to be long before he goes and competes for the WWE title, man. He's definitely going to be a big game changer going into SmackDown.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think he's going to make a mark there.
Yeah, me too. I'm like so pumped. It's ridiculous. I know I sound so pumped right now. Like, holy crap.
Oh my god, I'm so pumped right now. Oh my god, this is so neat.
Hold up. Let me just slap myself in the face real quick. Bobby Roode, holy shit, oh my god, he's coming back. I'm so excited. He's here. He's on SmackDown. Yeah. All right. So, sorry guys, all right, so I want to talk one quick thing before we call it a wrap to our first return episode. And that is, we are seeing what we've always wanted to see. We are going to be seeing what it would have been like for Hulk Hogan to fight John Cena, or Stone Cold versus John Cena. We're seeing John Cena versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
We're seeing the face of one generation fighting the face of another generation. John Cena is last year's face. He's fighting this year's face, Roman Reigns. And I know that's like weird to explain it that way, but it's cool. They hinted at this like a few years ago. They were hinting at John Cena versus Roman Reigns, but they went absolutely nowhere with it. And I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, it's just dumb. Vince's favorite guys are just gonna fight each other. No, this is cool. I'm sorry, I'm actually excited about this. This is like when Hulk Hogan fought The Rock. This is generation versus generation. I know it doesn't feel that way because Cena still is technically wrestling. He's still technically a part of this generation, but he is from the basic early 2000s.
No,
Mid to late 2000s.
I get what you're saying though. Like, yeah, I see the hype about it. I think WWE is hyping up way more bigger than it should be. But yeah, I think it's cool.
Well, I mean, you got a guy that's been wrestling with WWE for 15 years. This is as if Taker in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where Cena is at this level. If you want a comparison. So Cena's been around a while. Roman Reigns has been around and been in WWE for 5 years. So I mean, they're, it's the face versus face. So I'm excited with this going forward, and I hope that they do this right. We're gonna have to wait and see, and then and we're gonna have to see where it goes. But
nah, I hear you, dude.
It definitely is going to be a match I'm going to be psyched for. I don't know if they're going to do it at the next pay-per-view or what. I didn't see if that match was announced yet, but I'm definitely excited going forward.
Yeah, me too.
But,
man, it's been a while. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to see what they do with everything.
Man, we're out of shape. Not physically, but podcastly.
Oh, we really are.
And I'd like to apologize to the fans. We came in fucking hyped up, ready, burnt out. We had a lot of things where we had to kind of step away from the microphone for a minute, and that probably took our energy down a little bit. And I apologize about that. We had to do that quite a few times during the podcast. So hopefully we don't have to do that in the future. That we can't promise. The world does keep spinning, even with, So we apologize about that. But we're going to get – Weston, you and me got to go to the podcast gym. We got to, get podcast pumped. We got to start podcast bench press, do all that shit. We got to get all trained up, ready. We're gonna come back. You know what, dude? We're back. We're pumped, man. I mean, Wes, you got anything to say, bro? I mean, this is fucking awesome.
What?
I'm excited to be back.
I am too, man. It's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little while for us to get used to this, and I mean, all 5 of you that listen to this podcast frequently.
Tyler, all 5 times.
Yeah, Tyler. Hi, Tyler. No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. I will. We will keep you updated on Twitter. We will have episodes weekly.
We also are on Facebook. You can go and check us out, the Heel Turn Podcast on Facebook. We just put up a Facebook page.
We are now on Facebook. That is true.
Twitter will probably be our most reliable source of up-to-date stuff, but we will also keep things updated on our Facebook page.
Yeah, and it's gonna take us a little while to find a rhythm with this. We appreciate all of the I joke around and say Tyler, but the few of you that stuck around with us.
Yeah, because we have a few people I know that listen to us on a regular basis.
So I appreciate that greatly, and
we definitely do. Our podcast, we're starting fresh, we're starting new, but there's one thing that will never change about this podcast. One thing. It's a heel turn, bitch!